Hey guys, Axis&Allies 1942 second edition. Just finished round 6, and I just want to give you an overview of what the board looks like. As we get ready to start round 7. Okay, round 6. So let's see, the Russians. They kind of just stayed in Stalingrad. Didn't do much, just kept building there, waiting for the Germans to come to them. They could sit there all day long. As long as they're not getting much pressure from the east, it's the Germans who are going to have to make the move. So Russia just continues to build there. The Germans did take Leningrad back, so there's something either the Russians or the Americans are going to have to deal with that. And Japan has some infantry units on east of Moscow, but not many, so it's very limited. Russia will probably deal with that next turn. So Russia is still hanging in there. They have a very strong Stalingrad force, 19 infantry divisions, 4 artillery, 2 armor, a AA gun, and 3 fighters. We'll see if Germany gets the balls and attacks them next turn. I don't think they're strong enough yet. Germany's got to do something because they have their own problems, and it's from the west. They got repelled trying to attack northwestern Europe. The Americans and the British defenders rolled great. I think they lost 1 unit, the Allies, while the Germans lost like 5 or 6 land units. That was costly. So with that in mind, the remaining survivors of the northwestern Europe territory and from London invaded D-Day, and again, the Allies won a huge battle. The Germans only rolled 1 hit and lost the AA gun and 5 infantry divisions. So that was huge for the Allies, as they now have a pretty good control of Western Europe. France is going to be a problem. Germany is going to have to take that back somehow, and that's really going to affect the resources going to the east. So Germany's really getting the squeeze right now. It doesn't look too good from them. Africa, as you know, is lost already, and then they're dwindling on their territories. They're just going to have to hold back, and they need a miracle to happen right now, either coming from Japan, which I doubt is going to happen, or Germany may just get some really good dice, but we'll see. But it's not looking too good for the Germans, as they're trying to hang in there. The British had a great turn, as you can imagine, taking the France, and they still have northwestern Europe, only 1 U.S. unit, but if the Germans want it back, they're going to have to put 2 units there. It's kind of a pain in the ass for the Germans. Yeah, Britain's looking good, as you can see. They still have that big navy off France, and they're going to continue to pour more units into Europe. In India, they're still holding. There was a few skirmishes in Burma. Finally, Japan went balls out and took the territory last turn. We'll see how India responds to that. And they still have that small fleet off Wake Island. On their turn, they will follow the main U.S. fleet, which is now off Leyte Gulf in the Philippines. Japan take a few territories in Russia. Nothing too big. They went all in Burma. They got to do something with that India. They're going to have to do something here. They got to get a big victory because Germany's going to start feeling the pressure from the Western Allies. So they figured, you know what, we got to do something here. The Americans, they moved their main fleet into the Philippines. They took that from Japan. Big question mark, is Japan going to attack the American fleet off Leyte Gulf? That will be an interesting battle. 2 huge navies. There'll be a big clash in the Pacific. We'll see what Japan decides to do. But they got to make a decision soon because, like I said, Germany's starting to feel the heat. So yeah, and the Americans built 4 subs, as you can see, and they got a few men here. They'll take those men into Europe, and they're using that Norwegian factory, building some land units. So this round definitely went to the Allies for sure. They had some great rolls, no question about it. Yeah, doesn't look too good for the Germans right now, especially on the Western Front. we'll see how they respond. I mean, they gotta attack first. That's 6 IPCs. They have to attack that. It's gonna cost them a lot of equipment, I'm pretty sure. So, and here in the east, you know, like I said, Russia can just keep waiting. You know, they're not in a hurry. Germany's gonna have to respond there soon. They may have to play some of those fighters to the west because they're needed, and that's close to Germany, Francis. So, and Russia's not feeling any pressure from Japan, at least not much. So Russia's just holding out. All right, so we get ready to start round 7.